Hey everybody, Troy coming at you with another video. The Confederate flag. Is it a symbol of hate, slavery, and racism? Or is it a piece of our American history? Let me first start by saying that I'm an American history buff, especially during the Civil War. I still remember when I was in middle school, when they were teaching American history, I was listening and taking it all in. I don't know what it instilled in me, but I really enjoy it. When all the other kids, were writing on the desk or, staring out the window or sleeping, I was paying attention. And to this day, I still like history. I like old things. I like antiques. That's just the way I am. And that's the way my mom is. I guess that's where I get it from. So there's been an outcry to get rid of the Confederate flag that is flying in South Carolina and also in different states. There's also an outcry to remove and get rid of, and people have been defacing and destroying as much as they can, monuments that are about the Civil War, especially when it comes to being from the South. People want statues that are of Confederate soldiers and generals that are in Washington, D.C., taken down. There's even people calling for some of our bases that are named after generals, for instance, Fort Bragg. People want that base's name changed because it was named after General Bragg, who fought for the South during the Civil War. And now if you look at the Confederate flag, they call it the Stars and Bars. I could understand if it showed some type of pictures of chained African Americans or Africans at that time, or showed something with slavery. It's just the Southern states flag when they seceded from the Union. Now also a brief history lesson. You have to remember that before there was the first 13 states, they were the first 13 British colonies. It was people from Great Britain, France, Spain, and the Dutch Republic and others that brought the original slaves here, which is now America. And then after the Revolutionary War, there were still slaves in the North. But I don't hear for people wanting to take down, or the call to take down, our American flag. There was slavery behind that too as well. Also, over 600,000 troops total from both sides died in the Civil War. 600,000. And I looked at the statistics. That is more than all of our wars combined. That's just amazing to me. A lot of people think that the Civil War was started just because slavery, and that's not true. Part of it was, but the southern states succeeded from the Union also because they just didn't like being bullied by the northern states. They had their own capital, they had their own flag. And then the Civil War started. And if you look into your history, a lot of those people were not soldiers, they were farmers, they were doctors. So if you look at the people from the South that fought, most of them most likely didn't have slaves. And even though slavery was part of the Civil War, it's not the whole thing. And it's a part of our American history, and so is the Confederate flag. And I don't see anything wrong with somebody flying a Confederate flag if its intent is to show that they're proud of their Southern heritage, that their family fought in these wars. But most of the people that fly these flags don't have hatred in their mind and in their heart. They didn't condone the slavery and the brutality, and they're just proud of their history and their family history. The only thing that you can really compare this to on a grand scale is the Holocaust. But let's look into monuments and things like that that people want to destroy or have taken down. Auschwitz and a lot of these other concentration or death camps are still there, and millions of people visit them each year. And it's there as a reminder, as part of history, whether it be as horrible and terrible as it was, and people go there and look at it as a reminder not to let that ever happen again. But getting back to the Confederate flag, there are people that use it as a symbol of hate and racism. That I don't agree with. That nobody should agree with. But we can't change that because there's people with hate in their heart for whatever reason. But just don't take the history out of it, because that's so important, is our American history. So that's it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. As always, thank you very much for supporting the MTH Guns and More channel, and I will see you in the next video.